Well, ladies and gentlemen, today, very interesting concept of astrology. How does this concept help you? I don't know. It's just for analyzing things, it's not gonna change your life or anything with this concept. This is the concept which, in layman's terms, shows what do people think of you when you're out there standing in public, whether you're having a conversation with somebody or you're just out there standing in the corner doing nothing, drinking, smoking, talking on the phone. What are people thinking of you? Or especially when a stranger hears you for the first time, meets you for the first time, what are they thinking of you? As in, what zodiac sign are they thinking about of you? And I don't even mean if somebody doesn't know astrology at all. They don't even know what Aries stands for, what Taurus stands for, what Gemini stands for. But still, they will say something in their mind that this person is too talkative. This person is too show-offy. This person is too dull. This person is too motherly and emotional. Which means they're relating to certain zodiac sign, right? To Cancer, to Gemini, to Virgo, to Capricorn or Leo. So that's what I'm gonna show you. But how can you use this in a practical way to make something out of it, to make a cake out of this, leftover food that you have or leftover things that you have? What dish can you make out of this? See, what this can show you is, first of all, the image that you are giving to people. The image that you purposely give to people, that this is what I am. Look, this is what I am. Like, let's say, somebody who's absolutely poor, but somehow they got their hands on a credit card. And this credit card has $40,000 limit on it. And they went out, buy the nicest clothes, nice watch, nice glasses. They get their hair done, far better than me. And they go to a party. They rent a nice Mercedes Benz. They are trying to portray an image because they want you to think like they are this. Now, that's what they're trying to portray, which is the Arudha Lagna, the illusion that you are giving to the world of who you are, what you want people to think of you. Then there's a concept known as Graha Arudha. Graha Arudha shows what the other person will think of you regardless of what you tell them, regardless of what you speak to them, regardless of how you portray yourself. So you see the two difference. So how can this happen in practical life? This can show you what image that I will give to people that I'm working with, let's say. Let's say I'm going to a new company and I really want to make sure that I make a good impression. And if you know this concept, you can say, okay, well, I am always somehow giving this image of myself, this Arudha image of myself. However, my peers, my coworkers, my bosses are thinking of this when they're interacting with me. And which I don't like, because I don't want them to think of me as this. Perhaps I just need to change and act as if. So if, let's say, whenever you come across authorities and your bosses, they're just thinking like, I don't think I want to give this person too much work. They're just not going to be responsible. They're just somehow always taking a long time to finish their work. I'm going to just give them something else. Because I know they're good at what they do, but they just take too long. What this can happen is that from Graha Arudha, this concept of Graha Arudha, you may have Saturn sitting in the ascendant. Perhaps in a very difficult sign or in a debilitated state, whatever sign it's in, okay? If that debilitated Saturn is right on the ascendant from Graha Arudha, or in a difficult sign, people will always think of you somebody who's just takes too long, slow, lethargic, lazy, very serious, doesn't want to socialize. Even though from Arudha, your Arudha Lagna, your Arudha ascendant, you are trying to show, look, I am talking. But that energy is being transferred in a completely different manner. So this is how you can use this. You may use it, you don't use it. It's good to analyze about what the person would want you to think of them, and perhaps what the decisions they might be making. So that's what it is. So obviously, if you do not know what your birth chart looks like, what your Arudha Lagna is, okay, all the other astrological details for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations and reading at this link. And especially if you see this page on my report, you will come across this page of Jaimani Astrology. And here you can see all your Karakas, your Atma Karaka to your Dhara Karaka. And at the bottom, as the chart you also see your Karakamsha Lagna and Arudha Lagna. Don't need to know how to calculate Arudha Lagna, it'll be on the report. And if those of you do not know how to understand the report, I've actually made a special video on it, which you get when you get the report. I go from the first page all the way to the last page, really quickly showing you exactly what each thing is meaning. Now let's come to the Graha Arudha concept. The concept of what other was thinking of you. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you are a Cancer ascendant person. You're a Cancer ascendant person, and your moon is sitting in the 4th house in Libra. Right? So, most likely your Arudha Lagna would be Capricorn ascendant. Because wherever the ascendant lord is placed, you count that many places from itself. So if ascendant lord is in the 4th house, you count 4 places from the 4th house, which is the 7th house. So your Arudha Lagna could come out to Capricorn ascendant through some different method. Fine. Then to calculate the Graha Arudha, first you see where the sign ascendant lord is placed. So ascendant lord is in the sign of Libra. It's 4 places from itself. However, if you make Libra the ascendant, that means your ascendant is 10 places away from Libra. Okay? So if your ascendant lord is in Libra, which is moon, because you're a Cancer ascendant, moon's home is 10 places away from Libra. So how do you come to your Graha Lagna? Well, then what you do, you count 10 places from Cancer. That means your Graha Arudha is the sign of Aries. That means if you make Aries the ascendant, first of all, you will come across as somebody who's always in a rush, impulsive, aggressive, go-getter, energetic. If there's a planet sitting there, it will mold those situations. Like I was giving you about Saturn. Or let's say if Sun is sitting in the sign of Aries, you put in the ascendant, you naturally come out as a leader. Like people just think of you. Like even if you're just standing doing nothing, people are like, you must be like some executive or CEO or somewhere. So you understand that naturally what image you are, what people are thinking of you without you doing anything. You could be butt naked, you could be in underwear and talking on a cell phone somewhere. But people will just somehow think because of your body shape, your look, how you are, your body languages, and they'll be like, this person might be somebody important because they don't care. They're just wearing their underwear and they don't really care because they're so confident about this. But wow, okay, all right. Now, I know this is quite a tricky situation, right? Tricky part. Like, how did he come up to Graha Arudha again? I'll explain it again. Let's say you are an Aries ascendant. Okay? Simple. Aries ascendant. Your ascendant Lord Mars is sitting in the 11th house. So how do you calculate Graha or Graha Lagna? You have to see from the sign of Aquarius, how far is the sign of Aries? So from the sign of Aquarius, the sign of Aries is 3 places away, right? Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. So it's 3 places away. So how do you calculate your Graha Lagna, Graha Ascendant? You count 3 places from Aries. Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So that means whenever people come across you, they're observing you, you are coming out to them as a Gemini person. Communicative, talkative, social, youthful, childlike. Somebody who's skillful, like somebody who'll just, even if you don't have any skills, somebody will be like, they must have some skill. They must possess some creative skills about them. That is Graha Lagna. So I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say your Graha Lagna comes out to Aries, just like I said. Your Ascendant Lord is Aries. Ascendant Lord Mars is in the 11th house. So you count 3 places from itself, which is Aries, its home. You count 3 places from Aries, which is Gemini. So Gemini is your Graha Lagna. And let's say, or actually no, that's a little bit of a confusing example. Let's do this. Like the first example I gave you. You're a Cancer ascendant. Your Ascendant Lord Moon is in the 4th house, in Libra. That means the sign of Cancer is 10 places away from Libra. Then you count 10 places from Cancer, which is the sign of Aries. And let's say you have Mars sitting there right in Aries. So when you come and talk in an organization, people will be like, wow, this person is just go-getter, very hardcore person, kind of intimidating. This person can make really good, quick decisions. They're the one, they're the one who are gonna fight for our company. This guy is gonna be taking a company forward. He's not gonna negotiate with anybody. He's just gonna make sure that we get what we want. That's the image you're giving. But let's say your Arudha Lagna comes out to Libra. Your Arudha Lagna comes out to Libra, the sign of Libra. That means people are thinking that this person is going to do this. However, you are trying to give them the image of Libra. Oh no, I'm going to be diplomatic. I'm going to be, liberal about everything. I'm going to be sharing things. I want to share things with company. I want to bring in company, and I want to spread the wealth around. So this can be good for, let's say, if you want to see a chart of a military general. So if you see a chart of a military general and you see that, okay, their Graha Lagna is coming out to Aries. Oh, they're going to go conquer everything. They're going to go out and not take no for an answer, and they're going to destroy the enemy. But their Arudha Lagna comes out to Cancer, which shows they become very emotional about all the situations. They really do not want to go and attack someone. They really want to make sure that, okay, I want to attack you as a very last resort. I'll keep holding back. I'll keep holding back. I'll keep holding back. So that means the presidential administration, the people in Congress are just like, why is this general not taking this action? Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. So you see how you can take these two angles and understand, how a person is coming out as in public and how they are trying to make sure that you think of them as. You may want them to be hardcore, but to the public, they come out as this nice, emotional person who just wants to make sure that people of the enemy's territory are taken care of first before I do something. And this concept, of obviously Arudha Lagna and then Graha Arudha has been discussed online many, many times. Obviously, K.N. Rao has discussed mostly about Greh Aruda, but Sanjay Rath has... Oh no, K.N. Rao has discussed mainly about Arudha Lagna, but also Sanjay Rath is the one whose article I came across with Greh Arudha, which then made all that more sense. I'm like, wow, okay, that's interesting, you know. And obviously, like, concept of Argala too, I came across through understanding Sanjay Rath's book. What was that book? It was named with Nakshatra something. Oh no, Crux of Vedic Astrology. Yeah, that's the book. And you know, especially, I mean, you can use it on even on Donald Trump. This concept. Donald Trump is a Aquarius Arudha Lagna. That means he likes to show people that he's all about the collective. He's all about society. It's all about being innovative, entrepreneurial, you know, going out there and fighting for the working man. That's the image that he likes you to think of him as. That's what he's trying to do. Which is a good thing. That's the image that he's trying to really portray to public. That look, my decisions, like he just saved these companies in Indiana. He promised that I'm going to save it, and he did save it. Although he gave more money through the government to these companies, but he fulfilled his promise, and he did it, I think, at 2 other places. How he did it, that's different, but he did it. Now, what people think of him as is the Greh Arudha. His Greh Arudha is occurring in the 4th house, which is the sign of Scorpio. He has Moon, Ketu sitting there. Moon is debilitated in Scorpio. So obviously, what people, regardless of what he does, people just think of him as this secretive, manipulative, selfish person who's always looking out for himself, and he will, you know, do whatever it takes to get what he wants. That's what people are thinking of him as. The image that he's trying to give is of this Aquarius person. Like, look, I want to make America great again. I want to bring jobs back. That's who I am. Look at me like that. And especially if you notice through Greh Drishti, meaning through Jaimini astrology aspects, Saturn, Venus are looking at his 7th house of Arudha Lagna. And especially you have to understand about Arudha Lagna. Whichever house the Arudha Lagna is happening in, you have to take that energy of that house too. You can't just simply say, oh, you're an Aquarius ascendant. No, his Aquarius ascendant is happening in the 7th house, which means 7th house is about the masses. And it's about mass fame. He always tried to portray this person who is very famous and out there, and his name is out there, and he's innovative, and he is. Because that's what he's always trying to pursue as. And Greh Arudha is occurring in which house? 4th house. What is Donald Trump really famous for? His real estate. All his commercial real estate and residential real estate. And so people think, oh, he's all about just making money through real estate, being selfish, being rude and manipulative, and making all these secretive deals and doing all these things. And remember, Trump University, which was a educational university, which got shut down. Why? 4th house is what besides real estate? Vidya, knowledge, education. And that's where Moon and Ketu were debilitated. So people just knew that, look, you are this person who is trying to just manipulate yourself through this educational house. Real estate education is something that just came up with his presidency. Of how he's doing this and that, and he made this deal that wasn't supposed to be done. And especially, I mean, you saw that. I mean, Ketu with Moon, when he went towards Vidya, knowledge, he kind of did the manipulations of that with his Trump University. So this is, I mean, that's brilliant actually. I didn't even think about that when I was starting to make this video, that I might use Donald Trump as a good example, but that's what, people will always look at him as, regardless of what he does. And now I'm talking about like majority. But he will always try to portray himself. People who don't know him, people who have never heard of Donald Trump, he will try to portray this Aquarius person. But once they get to know him, once they observe him, they will think of him as this 4th house Scorpio Ketu person with the aspect of Venus Saturn. Okay. Another great example, let's say the famous Indian actor Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan is an Aquarius ascendant with ascendant Lord Saturn in the 4th house. And remember, Aquarius is a sign which is co-ruled by Rahu and Saturn both. Scorpio is a sign which is co-ruled by Ketu and Mars both. And according to Sanjay Rath, what I remember is that whenever nodes are co-ruling these signs, you just look at the main planet. The nodes, wherever they are, that is also the Graha Arudha. You don't do anything with the nodes. Wherever the nodes are, you simply just use that as their Graha Arudha. But Saturn rules the sign of Aquarius mainly, sits in his 4th house in Taurus. Okay, so his Arudha Lagna is Leo, with Rahu sitting there. Obviously, big personality, right? Out there in the world of media and illusion and cinema. And Rahu becomes the sun, the bright sun, like it becomes a chameleon sun, like another sun. That's the Arudha Lagna that he's trying to portray himself as. And he has to, because he is an actor. He has to give that dynamic performance to the masses. 7th house. Graha Arudha. He's an Aquarius ascendant. Saturn is in the 4th house. Okay, in the sign of Taurus. So from Taurus, where is the sign of Aquarius? 10th from itself. That means now you're going to count 10 places from the sign of Aquarius, which is what? The sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio becomes that image that people think of him as. If people don't know him, who he is, and they first come across Amitabh Bachchan, they're like, oh my God, this person is intense. This person is like deep and dark. And what are mainly all the movies of Amitabh Bachchan, where he's playing this intense guy, this either mafia guy or whether it's Agnipath or Zanjeer and then what was that, Namak Halal, Sharabi. So many movies where he's portrayed this image of this person who's just deep and dark and just intense, and you don't want to mess with him. And especially Jupiter, from Parashara aspects and Jaimini aspects the 10th house, which shows that his image as this intense person, this secretive, intense person you don't want to mess with, it's in a more positive way. You don't think of it as somebody who will manipulate you. You never think of Amitabh Bachchan as somebody who will be all about his own selfish reasons. You always see Amitabh Bachchan as this intense person, this hard personality, but you feel like, wow, I want him to be my leader. I want Amitabh Bachchan to be this person. Like, so you see how planetary aspects and placement on the Graha Arudha affects your opinion about the person. And especially if you notice this, which I tested on like 20 celebrity charts, is that people who had Graha Arudha with positive planets impacting it, regardless of what they do, people always tend to think of them as something good, something high. And the celebrity who has had malefic impact on their Graha Arudha, regardless of how many good deeds they can do, somehow they will always have this image that they're always trying to work on. They feel like their image is just tarnished, always in media. Now, they may not care after a while, but it just It always is. So this is where this beautiful concept comes into play. Like, try it on any, if there's accurate time of birth out there, okay, for a celebrity, try it on their Arudha Lagna, or what they're trying to make you feel like who they are, and try the Graha Arudha as to what you end up thinking of them as. Now, I'm pretty sure there's more deeper concept and a much deeper way of understanding this. I don't know. Maybe I'll come across when I learn more Gemini. When I learn more about Arudha Lagna in depth, I will discuss that with you. If you guys know any deeper information of Arudha, would love to learn that from you all as well. All right, so guys, this was my analysis and my opinion on Arudha Lagna and Graha Arudha. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Graha Arudha is, your Arudha Lagna, as I showed you from that thing, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, my books, reports, consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.